Oh, Alexis Sanchez, thanks for the memories, but it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. It's been nice knowing you. Welcome back to Analysing Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very different kind of video. It's like a transfer saga special, but it's also me talking about the game on Saturday. Basically, I want to apologise to you guys for not having the Arsenal Crystal Palace Analysing Arsenal game on Saturday. I was very, very ill on Saturday. I was in no state to record, and I have never ever missed an Analysing Arsenal game until this one, so I do apologise. I'm going to be touched upon the Arsenal Crystal Palace game in this video, but first and foremost, the breaking news and what I want to talk about in this video is my feelings on the Alexis Sanchez saga and give you my thoughts now because it is official. Alexis Sanchez is a Manchester United player. Henrikh Mkhitaryan is now an Arsenal player. The deal is done. This saga is over. Sanchez is no longer an Arsenal player. He is now a Manchester United player. Mkhitaryan has finally become an Arsenal player, and it's done. It's done. All of the talk that has been going on for a good year, this Sanchez saga has been happening, is finally over. We don't have to think about it anymore. He is gone. We have a new player in, and it's done. It's done. And I haven't really spoke about in a video this saga in particular. I've kind of given my thoughts over kind of the lifespan of Analysing Arsenal, my thoughts on Alexis Sanchez here and there as we get to games, and kind of my opinion on it has changed. And now, now that he actually has gone, this is what I currently believe and why I don't really know what I feel right now. I don't know. I mean, I'm annoyed a little bit. I'm upset, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited and optimistic to see how the new men that are going to be coming to replace Alexis Sanchez, how they're gonna, how their Arsenal career is going to take off, and the fact that we've got some replacements in kind of makes me feel like, just feels a little bit better. Incidentally, I feel that if we didn't have a replacement lined up, then this really would be like another, extremely long rant, and that is what I've done many, many times. But I don't really know what I feel right now, and I thought I'd rather do a video on it and give you kind of my feelings to how Alexis Sanchez side, because I haven't yet do it yet. So here we go. We're also going to be talking about the Arsenal Crystal Palace game later on in the video as well, to kind of make up for why I didn't do one on Saturday. So basically, this Alexis Sanchez transfer saga has been going on for a long, long time, and basically what the deal inclines is that Alexis Sanchez has gone to Manchester United, Henrikh Mkhitaryan has come to Arsenal, and Alexis Sanchez is getting paid. He's going to be the highest paid Premier League player. I think he's on around about 450 grand a week. He's just shy of $500,000 a week at Manchester United, which is an astronomical amount of money. Like, it's just a crazy, crazy amount of money, shall we say. And the swap deal, people will say that Henrikh Mkhitaryan is nowhere near as good as Alexis Sanchez, and I agree with that, but we'll come on to that more. But basically, that is what the transfer kind of details were, if you like, and it's taken quite a while to get the deal over the line. Finally, the deal was over the line, and it is done, and all the paperwork has been in place, and Manchester United got themselves an amazing player. We've got ourselves the start of a replacement, shall we say, and it is done. But this kind of Sanchez saga has been kind of glistening and brewing for the last kind of 12 months, because like Alexis Sanchez has been getting better and Arsenal have been declining. So you've got Sanchez going up and Arsenal going down, and they had to come to a point where one had to give. Last season, when Sanchez had the best season he's ever had in an Arsenal shirt, we knew that if Arsenal didn't improve as a club, he would be going. And for ages and ages and ages, everyone has been saying it's been Manchester City. That was the club that everybody thought Alexis Sanchez was going to go to. I don't think anybody gave Manchester United a hope in hell's chance. I think they knew that they were slightly interested in Alexis Sanchez, but I don't think anybody generally thought that he would ever go there. I think everyone thought that it was going to be Manchester City. That was going to be the only club that he would go to, and they couldn't see Alexis Sanchez going anywhere else, incidentally. And on deadline day in August, and I've touched upon this in my Living in the Prem series, which is going to be coming back soon, may I say. I haven't forgotten about that. But basically, that Manchester City left it too late to try and get Sanchez over the line. on deadline day. They couldn't manage to get it through. So, you know, everybody thought that it was going to be in January where Manchester City go again to try and get Alexis Sanchez and get him in. And what's happened is that Manchester United have come in out of no man's land and have kind of swooped in and snatched Alexis Sanchez from like the palms of Manchester City. Now, whether that's Mourinho being very like clever and you know, being kind of just Mourinho as what he does against other managers, whether he's getting under, you know, Pep Guardiola's skin and is beating him, only time will really tell whether, you know, Sanchez in the long run going to Manchester United was the right, you know, if that was the right club, the right thing to do. You know, we'll see how he does as he performs in the Manchester United shirt. But, you know, Manchester City have they've kind of not really cared about Alexis Sanchez, really. They're kind of been very blasé about the matter. You know, Manchester City said that they wanted, well, they weren't going to pay less than 20 million was going to be the maximum they would spend on him, and Arsenal simply didn't want to do that. In Manchester City's thinking, you know, when you've got a player that has only got 6 months remaining on his contract, and, you know, he will go for free in the summer, then why would Manchester City put in a huge offer to try and get him now? They don't need Alexis Sanchez now. You know, you see their amazing squad, and this is what we'll get on to. You know, they don't need Alexis Sanchez. You know, they will happily wait till the summer to try and get him, and then if he isn't free, then so be it. Manchester United, on the other hand, need Alexis Sanchez, and that is why I think they've come in and just kind of agreed to all of the terms that Arsenal have set down. And on top of that, Arsenal are also trying to get in a second replacement. So it's kind of Arsenal trying to rectify this, you know, situation, because it's their own fault, it's their own mess, you know, it's their own undoing, and they're trying to rectify that. And Manchester United are also looking for that star-studded Sprangle player, which they have got in Alexis Sanchez, incidentally. But, you know, it's been a crazy, crazy saga, incidentally, and I think this will be the last time that Arsenal let a player go down. Like, obviously we've got Mesut Ozil and Jack Wilshere onto the last 6 months, but like, players coming in to the club in the future, I can't see Arsenal doing this same mistake again and allowing players to run down their contract to the final 6 months, because it's been an absolute mess. You know, you are at the mercy of the player and the agent of what they want to do. You know, Alexis Sanchez in the summer would go for nothing, impacting on Arsenal as a business, and yes, he might go to Manchester City, but, you know, he wants to get out of that club right now. You know, Arsenal are in disarray as an overall club, and even though there were signs on Saturday that things could start getting back to normal and the new signings that are arriving to Arsenal are exciting, you know, the club is not in a good state at this particular moment. They're trying to rectify it, and they are going about trying to solve these problems in the right way, but it's not a good club to be at the minute. And, you know, I was surprised that Henrikh Mkhitaryan wants to come to Arsenal, because I don't understand why anyone would want to come to Arsenal Football Club at this particular moment. But we have got a new player in Mkhitaryan, and, you know, for Alexis Sanchez going to Manchester United, it makes a lot of sense in my head why Alexis Sanchez has gone to Manchester United, because, you know, he might want to deep down go to Manchester City. You know, he's played under Pep Guardiola before. He respects Pep Guardiola. He loves Pep Guardiola, and I think he likes the way that Manchester City plays. All you have to bear in mind is that Manchester City are in a league of their own. They are a cut. Yeah, they're cut from a different cloth. They're a cut above every other Premier League team in the land. And you look at their squad, what a fabulous squad that they've got. Alexis Sanchez going to Manchester City now in January. He would simply be a guest of honour at the Manchester City party. No, he really, really would. You know, yes, he would probably win the Premier League. Yes, he probably would win the FA Cup. Yes, potentially the Champions League. And he'd be kind of, you know, it's not really properly because he hasn't been there all season, but he would have contributed to the star-studded movie that Manchester City are doing in the Premier League 2017-2018. But he will make a cameo in that film. He's not like a main star like De Bruyne, you know, like Gabriel Jesus, you know, like Aguero. You know, he's not a main, you know, casting role. You know, he's just one of those supporting actors that come in for a cameo here and there. So, you know, he'd be going there simply, you know, to be part of a party, incidentally. You know, and he probably will get it very, very easy at Manchester City. You know, he won't be the star-studded player, the player that, you know, we've come to see at Arsenal. You know, I put Alexis Sanchez into the category of Hazard, De Bruyne, you know, Harry Kane, you know, these type of players that like, if a game is kind of petering out and it's not really going anywhere, you've got that one player that can literally turn on the screws and win you a game, you know, by themselves. And Alexis Sanchez is like that. You know, Eden Hazard is at Chelsea. You saw against Brighton, bit of magic when you go 1-0 up, and then, you know, Chelsea just go full steam ahead. And, you know, Tottenham have that as well with Harry Kane in his moment. And you think back to the amazing teams, you know, Manchester United, they had lots of great players, but then they had Ronaldo, who was like top of the tree, you know, back in like a decade ago, you know, when Cristiano Ronaldo was playing at Manchester United. He was like the pivotal star. And like in the Arsenal Invincible days, you had lots of great players, but you had Thierry Henry, who could just win you a game on his own. And I wouldn't say Sanchez is as good as Thierry Henry, but he's in that top calibre of, you know, elite players, and he can win you a game by himself, you know, very, very comfortably and very, very easily. You know, and Manchester United don't have that at the minute. You know, they really, really don't. They've got a very, very good squad. You know, they've got a very, very good team, but they haven't got a player that stands out. Pogba, very, very good player. You know, Lukaku, very good player. Martial, Lingard. But you look at that Manchester United team, and I don't think, and this is just my opinion, but I don't think I sit there and say, oh, right, this Manchester United player is going to win the game. I don't think, oh, Martial is going to win Manchester United this game by himself. You know, they don't have that. And Alexis Sanchez will be that player that comes into Manchester United. And there's only really a couple of reasons that, you know, also that Alexis Sanchez has chosen Manchester United FC. And firstly, it increases his value and his career being at Manchester United, because Manchester United at this particular moment, and you know, you have to give Mourinho sadly praise for what he's done. You know, when you look at Manchester United right now, that they're on the borderline of getting back to being great. You know, when I look at Manchester United, I think back to the Sir Alex Ferguson teams. You know, Manchester United won trophy after trophy after trophy after trophy. They were always competing at the top level, and they played some of the greatest football we've ever seen. And then when Sir Alex Ferguson left in 2013, they've kind of fallen away. Mourinho's got them back to on that borderline. You know, they're still not the finished article, but you know, they've got now trophies behind them. You know, the Europa League, the Carabao Cup. You know, they won the FA Cup a couple of years ago. So they're starting to get back to winning ways. But what Manchester United want is the title. Now, they're not going to get it this year because of Manchester City, but if Alexis Sanchez can get used to life at Old Trafford, like between now and the end of the season, next season, they've got a very, very good chance at the title, depending on who Mourinho brings in as well, because he loves splashing the cash in the summer transfer window. So, you know, United are not far off being the finished article, and getting in Alexis Sanchez will only help them. And if Alexis Sanchez can take Manchester United from being on the border of achieving greatness to being up there and winning titles again, then that's just going to add value and make Alexis Sanchez as a player and his worth go up, and he's going to be like, if he's seen to do that, he's going to be seen as an even better player than he really is, because even though he's a fantastic player, because of Arsenal's decline, he's not really excelling in the way potentially that he wants to be. So that's the first reason. Second reason is that he wants to be a starter and be that magic man. You know, he is at Arsenal because, you know, after Sanchez, Ozil's a great player, you know, Lacazette's a great player, but, you know, Sanchez is our best player by a country mile, and has been for a number of years now. So at Manchester United, he will still have that same effect, but he'll be at a team that is in a better position to compete. You know, when he's at Manchester City, there could be, you know, and there's a very good significant chance that, you know, if he went to Manchester City, that Alexis Sanchez potentially wouldn't be a starter. Like, he'd be involved and he'd be, you know, featured in the squad, but I don't really see where he would fit in Manchester City, because they've got so many good players that I don't really see how that would work. So that's kind of the second reason. The third reason is money. You know, if I'm getting offered like nearly $500,000 a week, I'd take that. I'd take that, and it is a ridiculous amount of money, but, you know, money talks in the modern financial climate, you know, in the football modern market, business climate, you know, it's all about money. And money really does make the world go round and make the best players come to the club. You know, Manchester United are one of the richest clubs in the world. You know, they can offer that. And however controversial it is, if they want a player that bad enough, then they'll pay whatever he demands. And, you know, that in itself would make you want to go to that football club. And it's quite funny how Paul Pogba is like much to say, I wouldn't be on the same amount of money that Alexis Sanchez is. So, You know, there's a good number of reasons, really, and it is in the long run going to benefit Manchester United. It feels like deja vu, and it is frustrating. You know, Wenger said we're never going to be selling to Manchester United again after the Robin van Persie. It's that we've done it again. The only difference now this time is that we have got something in return for exchanging our best player, and that is Henrikh Mkhitaryan. You know, now I want to make it abundantly clear, Henrikh Mkhitaryan at this particular moment is not as good as Alexis Sanchez, and he isn't the type of player that is gonna, you know, he's not gonna, best way to describe this, he's not as good as Alexis Sanchez. You know, we're not gonna be watching Arsenal and thinking, oh my god, Mkhitaryan is literally gonna be able to win this game for, like, by himself. You know, he's not like that. But I do think he will flourish under Arsene Wenger. I think he will be a better player that you'll see at Arsenal than you did see at Manchester United. I don't think Jose Mourinho played to his strengths. I don't think he really respected him. I don't really think he gave him, you know, much of a chance at Manchester United to spread his wings and fly. I mean, criticise Wenger all that we want, but Arsene Wenger can get the best out of certain players, and I think he will do that in the long run. But what we need now is we need Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. You know, if we get Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, and like Mkhitaryan is done, we've got Mkhitaryan, and I strongly feel like we will get Aubameyang, but that will be a fantastic replacement for Alexis Sanchez. You know, not just because, you know, and it's clever, you know, I think Aubameyang will go even now more that now Mkhitaryan is an Arsenal player. That link-up player, that nostalgia that they had at Borussia Dortmund, and if you remember what Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan did at Borussia Dortmund in the 2015-16 season, they were absolutely unplayable, and Mkhitaryan is a fabulous player. Aubameyang is a world-class player. You know, he doesn't want to be at Dortmund anymore. He's doing everything he can to get out of there. You know, we need to get him, and we need to get him fast. You know, and I would take that. I will take that happily. You know, because I knew, and this day has dawned for a long, long time. For the past year, this day has dawned, and I knew that there was going to get to a point where we would lose Alexis Sanchez forever. But what I would say to this is that, you know, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, or Mickey as we should call him, that's a good replacement. That's a good start. You know, you put Özil behind it. I don't really know how Lacazette would, you know, feature and fashion into this side, but, you know, it's certainly food for thought. And then in the summer, we can just address, because once we get those two, our attack is more than capable to compete. You know, if we keep Olivier Giroud, who could be part of the deal and getting Aubameyang, which I hope we don't lose Olivier Giroud, because, you know, he's a great plan B, and I think it showed in recent weeks, you know, him being injured, how much we miss Olivier Giroud when our strikers are not on point. But, you know, we've got rid of Theo Walcott, but we've got, you know, Welbeck, Iwobi, Lacazette, you know, Mkhitaryan. Now, obviously, Aubameyang, you know, we've got plenty of good players to choose from, and if we get a proper holding CDM, a better goalkeeper and a better centre back, then, you know, we're back in business, incidentally. And, you know, I have to give Arsenal praise. You know, it's all their own undoing, and, you know, they've caused this situation, they've put themselves in this predicament, and it is absolutely just so unprofessional and so kind of amateur management to allow your top player to run down to the last 6 months of his contract. You know, it is scandalous. But when I look at it, you know, they've got rid of Alexis Sanchez. He obviously was causing problems in the dressing room, and he was causing, you know, problems to the Arsenal camp. You know, they've brought in Mkhitaryan, and it looks to be that Aubameyang is set to join Arsenal over the next few days, hopefully anyway. But we've seen in the past deals at Arsenal could just break down like that when it is, like, it looks certain in the past that we're going to sign players and we don't. So I think that it's a good start. You know, it's nice to see that Arsenal are rectifying the problems that they've made, and now all we need to do is just get back to a good run of form. And I think if we can sign these players and win the Europa League, potentially win the Carabao Cup, even though it will be a horrible season, and it doesn't change the fact that I want Arsene Wenger to leave. I do want Arsene Wenger to leave, but I also want to get rid of the board. We've got 2 new people on our board as well that have, you know, have got experience and already showing that they mean business. You know, things are starting to look a little bit up for Arsenal behind the scenes, and, you know, Saturday was a prime example. You know, I haven't really talked about the Crystal Palace game. We're going to end this analysing Arsenal video in a couple of minutes, but when you look at what Arsenal did on Saturday, they threw out the blocks, no Sanchez in the side, and they absolutely dismantled. They ripped apart Crystal Palace. Yes, Crystal Palace were incredibly poor, but without Alexis Sanchez, Arsenal played with much more freedom, and it looked like they weren't looking for Alexis Sanchez 24/7. They were going down the right-hand side much more. The link-up play was great. Mesut Ozil was absolutely fabulous. If we could keep only one player, then please keep Mesut Ozil, because without him, we just don't tick. We're absolutely majestic and beautiful. On Saturday, defensively, we still have a couple of shaky moments, and we're not good defensively. We need to sort out our defensive problems. But, the future's bright. If we could bring these players in and start to get these contracts sorted, then, you can, however bad and however awful that Arsenal have been in recent weeks, and I still stand by that. I don't change my thoughts and feelings of how bad the club are at this particular moment, but when I can see they are at least trying to solve the situation, I can't be mad at it. Alexis Sanchez, I'm a little bit upset that he's left us, and I'm just absolutely, I'm a little bit annoyed and peeved that he's gone to Manchester United out of everyone, but it's one of those things, and we've also managed to get a replacement, and it looks to me that we're going to be adding another top caliber player to try to replace Alexis Sanchez, and you don't have these players forever, and this is what happens in football. It's a harsh game, so what we should do as Arsenal fans is we thank Alexis Sanchez for the memories of what he's given to Arsenal Football Club. He's a double FA Cup winner, scored around about 90 goals for the club, and we wish him all the best and we wish him well, but it's just one of those things, and hopefully Mkhitaryan, and if Aubameyang can join the next few days, Arsenal will be motoring again, and it's just nice that the Alexis Sanchez saga has finally concluded. I'm going to leave analysing Arsenal there for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to give you my thoughts and feelings on the Alexis Sanchez saga. He's official. It's official. He's now a Manchester United player. Henrikh Mkhitaryan is officially an Arsenal player, and we wait to see whether Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will be joining Arsenal over the next few days. I will rejoin you for another analysis of Arsenal as we play our next game. I don't know whether, because I'm pre-recording this, I don't know whether Alexis Sanchez will be a Manchester United player before the Chelsea game. So if it is before the Chelsea game, then I'll rejoin you for the game in the second leg of the Carabao Cup between Chelsea at the Emirates. But then if that's not the case, we haven't got any football at the weekend because of the FA Cup, but I would probably rejoin you for another analysis of Arsenal then before we play our final game of January in the Premier League as well. So please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and check out my content as well. This is DJ Pepper signing out. Until next time, take care, and I shall see you all soon. Take care and see you later. Oh, Alexis Sanchez, I'm going to miss you.